Welcome back, everyone, and welcome to the first game of the Creators of the Storm round robin. It's going to be Trollin Blizz versus Nexus Realm Power Heroes. I'll be your host, CavalierGuest, and with me as my co-caster is Styxa. How you doing today, Styxa?
Not too bad, thanks. I'm really excited that I was asked to be brought on for the cast today, and I took a look at the game mode, Ludicrous Speed. Oh my god, I am ready for Rap God Cav here. Just go absolutely ham on these play-by-plays. So I'll be filling it in, but I'm ready for this. It should be a great game. I'm happy for this.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup because Trollin Blizz and Nexus Realm Power Heroes did not play each other last time in the Creators of the Storm tournament. Of course, Trollin Blizz did go to the finals, but they were knocked out by TBK Zord's team that did win. However, right thing, Zexorus was the only team. Zexorus, as the captain of Nexus Realm Powers, was the only team to take a map off of Zord's team. So he thinks that they should technically be second, and he's come to play this go around. This is also, of course, Solid Jake's first time participating in Creators of the Storm, and he is going to be on the Nexus Realm Power Hero. So lots of interesting dynamics in this game from the players and the history that they have, not only like in Creators of the Storm tournament, but just with each other and wanting to make sure they come out on top here. And it's going to be fast and furious game one.
Oh, you don't say. Yeah, it's well-rounded roster here. A lot of familiar faces, and I'm ready to get into it.
Yeah, looks like our teams are just about ready as well. I think so. Anytime now. There we go.
Production.
And welcome to Sandbox, Volskaya Foundry. It is worth noting that we are on the live patch, so this is the new version of Volskaya Foundry, where the objective is stupid. It went from being literally the worst objective in the game to the point where people didn't even get it, and the support camp was considered more important, to it's the most important objective in the game, and if you get it, you can generally snowball and like just automatically win the game. The point where teams have been drafting for like level 7 team fights and you win.
That's crazy.
The only thing I can compare this to is Old Haunted Mines. Old Haunted Mines, you would legitimately draft to win the level 4 team fight, because if you got 100 Skull Golem, the game was over. It was just done. So if you win the level 4 team fight, you get enough skulls, the game's just over. This is the level 7 team fight. So there's a little bit more variety in the heroes that you're going to see, but not as much as you might think. And I'm curious to see how that's going to interact with the ludicrous speed aspect of the game, because you have this question of like, well, maybe this hero is really good, but it involves a skill shot. It's really hard to hit skill shots on things that are moving. Everything's moving faster. Do I do things that don't involve skill shots, but maybe they're not as good until the very, very late game? Stutter stepping becomes a lot harder, so any auto attack hero is maybe a little bit worse. I'm
looking forward to just seeing how the teams look to dodge specific skill shots, because these things are going to be fired off at as it is ludicrous speed here. 1.5 times faster is going to be hard for anybody to react. And you said stutter stepping as well. So I mean, when I see that the Triglav throw off that line that deals a whole bunch of damage, I'm going to be looking for some quick step in here.
Oof. So it is going to be Maev and Mathael. Mathael has been nerfed significantly with this patch, and people haven't been too excited about him. But Hanzo, still a very strong hero, has a lot of poke damage. Not a lot of walls to bounce his W off of on this map in particular, but he still gets a lot of sustained damage with his Q build and those sharpened arrowheads at 7 for the armor reduction, even though it has again been nerfed. I'm actually curious to see what's going to be locked in here.
I think maybe a Lucio would be pretty good. I mean, the speed boost just goes faster. You don't have to worry about, sustained fights.
ETC Genji. So I was curious if teams were going to prioritize lockdown effects, because if you're CC'd, you're not moving. And that makes everything just easier to hit. And ETC, of course, has the closest thing to a point-and-click stun of any of the tanks with the power slide. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe even Diablo for a very similar reason, even though it's not a very good pick normally on Volskaya, because there's no walls. At least you can just point and click. There's no chance of someone running out of range or anything like that.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing what these two teams come up with. I think ETC is a great pick here. It gives you a lot of just crowd control, and you're going to be stunned for like a point of a second, but again, reaction speed is really what it all is here. And, even if you're able to, stun them for whatever 0.5 seconds or so, it's going to take a lot of mechanical skill to try and avoid that. Make it around.
It's true. It's also going to come down. Of course, these teams will be on voice comms. Voice comms are now just considered standard in Heroes of the Storm because everyone has access to them. It's a very egalitarian approach these days. Mm-hmm. But if you're calling your stun in advance, like I'm sliding here, then people should already be going, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully we get to see some of that execution. We might miss it just because of the speed of the game, but hopefully we get to see it. And Anubarak?
I like the Anubarak pick.
He's skill shot oriented. I think that's kind of a cocoon pickup.
Yeah,
they're thinking
I'm thinking.
That's point and click. That's a point and click way of dealing with D-Blade. I'm curious to see if we're going to see the Li Ming ban, because currently if they pick up Li Ming, they can have Disintegrate to deal with the cocoon very quickly. And it's also going to give them a double reset composition with Genji's E and Li Ming's entire kit.
Oh god, I don't even want to think about double resets on this. I'm thinking about it right now in my head, and I'm just like, oh my god, the ability that Genji. I mean, you see Genji dash across the screen at normal speeds. I don't even want to see what it's going to be like soon. Oh god.
Just yo-yoing. And I think at some point, if the game's moving fast enough, you realize there's an input limit. Right? Oh, they actually banned the Uther instead. I'm actually surprised a little bit by the Uther ban because Uther would have been a really good pickup for them. Whenever you have a Genji, you can just kite back towards the Uther as soon as the Genji goes on someone and gets that stun off.
Maybe they think they're playing regular games because Genji Uther and the ETC Uther.
I don't know. Maybe they were afraid of the D shield.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Genji, but I don't know. That's 2 supports banned. I'm a little bit surprised that they banned a support just because they haven't picked one yet. They're limiting their own pool slightly. It would really behoove Troll and Blizz here to pick up a support so that the pool for Nexus Realm Power Heroes is limited further.
Dahaka, solo laner, wave clear, an extra front body. What are you thinking?
Okay, so there are like 6 total bushes on this map.
That's one reason not to pick them.
And you wouldn't. I mean, that's enough to burrow to, right? That's fine.
Yeah.
But it's not enough to like rotate around the map the way Dahaka normally does by walking in and out of bushes to get his movement speed bonus. This is by far Dahaka's worst map. It's so terrible to the point where. And I've had this conversation with B-Kid, who was, of course, the offlaner for GFE. He said if we ever made him play Dahaka on Volskaya again, he was just going to go the regeneration talent 1 instead of the movement speed talent 1. And there's never been a pro game since Dahaka's rework where any pro player went anything but the movement speed talent. And he was like, I can't use it. There's no bushes.
Yeah, so, there's the little movators there, the little treadmills that'll move. It'll make up for it totally.
No. They do pick up the Lucio though. That I approve of. Soundbearer is considered one way to deal with Dragon Blade. So they remove it, and they but Lucio's not a very good healer for Genji, and it's going to be Rhaegar Leoric. That's actually very strong. Leoric can double soak in the later stages of the game between mid and top. Something Dahaka cannot match. So they're going to have the macro advantage if this game goes on for quite a while. But again, on the new Volskaya, it's winning the objective that matters more. And Leoric's early game is not necessarily that strong. He really does spike at 13 and 16 in terms of that team fight.
Yeah. Final pick. It's got to be some kind of assassin. You mentioned Li Ming. You still got that. Double resets available. But they're going to end up going with Tychus here, I suppose, for the double tank. Is I guess a little bit of extra poke and some ranged.
Tychus is very good into Leoric. Leoric, post 13-16, he reduces everyone's damage by half, but percent-based damage is essentially true damage in Heroes of the Storm. It never gets effective, so Tychus can keep killing Leoric, and if you can just kill Leoric at the start of every fight, then he doesn't have the shrink ray on everyone, that's a good position to be in. Also capable of ganking him in lane. And Tychus even has a winning matchup into the Leoric Soul lane, a pass level 4, if for some reason they decide to swap around who's going against who.
All right. That makes sense. Yeah, I can see that. I'm curious to see how Hanzo will do, how P-Flame-G here will do with those skill shots, because I've never played on the 1.5 times speed, so I don't know how hard it's going to be to line it up and shoot it. But I'm excited to see some great plays, some misplays, some all over the plays.
It gets easier with practice, I will say that. So it just depends on did they practice. Of course, there are a couple subs here. Dorsch subbing in for Roz for game 1 on Nexus Realm Power Heroes. And wait,
I think Sleepy Gary.
No, Ro. Subbing in for Ro. There we go. Our names, I don't know. And then Mystic Shroud also subbing in on Trollin Blizz here for Alebeard. Okay. Looks like they were just a little bit late. They will be here later, I believe.
Combat preparations.
And we're good on camera, so you can introduce the teams. First off, on the left-hand side of the map, we will have Trollin Blizz. We'll have Bags onto Haka, Razai on Lucio, Guaz on ETC, Mystic Shroud on Genji, and Sleepy Gary on Tychus.
Over on the right-hand side, in the red, though, we have Nexus Power. I honestly can't remember. Nexus Realm Power Heroes. Here we go. P-Flame-G on that Hanzo, DJ Tyrant on the Leoric, Dorsch on Rhaegar, Solid Jake on Greymane and Zexorus, rounding it all up on the Anubarak, and the speed has been engaged. I am ready to see this, all super speedy heroes. Oh my god, Lucio's going crazy already in the middle.
Yeah, and that is with Accelerando at 1, so he's rolling on the wall. That's very fast. I can't even imagine. The gank attempt here, and they actually they walked onto Rhaegar. That wasn't even, they just walked up to him. I think people need to respect that the moment you see someone on a team like this, if you're alone, it doesn't even matter if they have CC. They can just run at you, and if your reactions are not like super fast, you're just gonna die.
Yeah, so just walking into that Rhaegar, picking him up, first blood, I expect to see quite a bit of kills just like that, and we do have that ETC going in, and Genji as well onto P-Flame-G, and they're just going to chase him down. I mean, with the Lucio speed boost, you're easily going to be able to pick that kill up, and already 2 for 0 right now, as Trollin Blizz walks between the the bottom and the middle lanes there, just trying to soak it up, get an EXP. Still got to do that in these fun game modes, of course.
I think this is something that really bears discussing, because average human reaction time, it falls within a certain range. It's like 0.18 to 0.3 seconds. You add in latency, depending on where you're coming from. People can have latency in heroes that start anywhere from like 5 to 150. It just depends on where you're playing from, how many server hops you're going through. So if you're reacting to what the enemy team's doing at this speed, you're dead. Like you can't get away. So it's far better to actually be the aggressive team that's just like, we're going to go on you and try to kill you. And I think that Trollin Blizz understands that better than Nexus Realm Power Heroes. They have like a sort of a defensive comp in a lot of ways. Like, oh yeah, we're going to counter initiate, we're going to poke. No, if you just run at them, you're dead. Like, you can't react in time to this kind of damage.
Yeah, we have ETC positioning over here, looking for a stun onto the Anubarak though. And they're just going to kind of making their way, poking it here and there, just trying to get a little bit of poke damage. The B-stepping coming out. You can already see the friendly banter in the games, and this is encouraged here. We're encouraged to get a little bit of smack talk. I hope to see some BM sprays and such throughout the duration of this entire tournament, so I'm looking forward to that.
You can see we're trying to get the poke. We get the 3-man power slide here by Guaz, and Solid Jake almost gets deleted instantaneously, even though he was running away that entire time. Boggs does come in with the burrow, misses the drag, however, and they are going to turret down another 3-man power slide by Guaz. Well, people are just lining up for Guaz's stuns here, but he may actually pay the price. He does, ends up going down, and Sleepy Gary turreting here ends up doing an enormous amount of damage, but they don't quite manage. Oh, they got it. They end up getting it. That no one paid attention to that turret, though. By the way, that turret did so much damage throughout the course of this game. But when the game's moving this fast, you just can't pay attention to these things.
Yeah, and I have problems following the speed of that thing in regular mode. So when this thing's going, especially as well as Tychus's attack speed, that's so much damage coming off. And if you don't react to that immediately, you're going to be losing a ton of your health. And you saw that there with Greymane getting, I think Greymane was taken down, and 1 or 2 other people on the side of the Nexus Realm Power Heroes there.
Of course, we are going to have the teams go back to soaking while the Triglob pushes. We actually haven't seen them get too much value out of the Triglob. This is one of the things that it gets tricky to use it. It's much harder to use the new Triglob because you've got to coordinate the laser. It's much better at killing heroes than it is at killing buildings. So if someone comes like outside of the wall, you should prioritize killing the hero and then kill the buildings. But at this speed, that might not even be possible. These buildings at least stand still. Maybe it's just easier to hit the buildings.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm happy that they at least got a single tower there. It is pretty early. Oh, it feels like it's pretty early, but it's already 5 minutes into the game. But they got at least a tower, and as you said, Nutriglove is just amazing at dealing hero damage and not so much structure. So I feel like it would pair good with some CC, or
I
sorry,
almost
some
I almost feel like that was the old protector, because normally you're getting at least 2 walls with the new protector, because you get mid wall and then you either go top or bottom, and instead it got a tower, which is about what you got out of the old Triglob protector. So obviously the speed having a big impact on the player's performance here.
Yeah, and that's honestly to be expected. I think just take some time. I have problems using the Triglob in general. I don't like to pilot that thing, so I let somebody else do that. And that way I'm not to blame. I'll just shoot stuff from the back. But Hanzo getting a ton of poke damage in here, picking up, I think, the Sharpened Arrowhead's talent there. So we're going to be seeing a ton of poke damage out of him. Dragon Blade out in the bottom, though, looking for that, solid Jade walking away with under 100 there. He's going to be able to back Hearth in, get some health, and make his way back into the team fight again.
That was extremely close. And we haven't talked about talents very much at all, but we are going to see full Q build from Hanzo here, including the level 1 talent Perfect Aim, which he just finished.
Already completed.
So
wow,
he now has 3 Qs on each individual member of the enemy team, which is impressive. And we're actually going to see an invade attempt here onto the camp. The arrow in the corridor, the deletion of Dahaka, who's coming in for that flank. EDC has been webbed, and they're looking to get an additional kill. Guaz should be able to slide out of here, but he is very low. He gets the mosh and gets instantly deleted, despite the fact that he did get a 4-man mosh there. But Genji with the resets, maybe he can do more here in the fight? No, they're going to be forced to disengage, and ends up being a 2-for-1 trade. Not as bad as it could have been.
We do have Mystic going in there for a little bit of extra damage, but I want to amend Dorsch there. The Ancestral was just so good there, keeping alive, I believe, the Leoric it kept up, or one of the tanks there, and just that allowed the fight to go even longer. And just picking up 2-for-1, you get a little bit of extra damage, and just great team fight here as Guaz now getting stunned and body blocked into oblivion, and will end up going down.
Yeah, Guaz is making one of the classic EDC mistakes. In the early game, he was always sliding in for the ganks, but in team fights, if you slide in, everyone should be like, thanks, you can't get away now, and just kill him. That's if an ED slides in aggressively in full-on team fights, they should just die. And Anubrak doing the same thing, Eing in aggressively looking for that chase, but Eing into towers. Towers do a lot more damage after the recent patch, and also goes down, so that ends up being a 1-for-1 trade. Dorsch, extremely low on mana, is going to have to back. Flame G also extremely low on mana, and not a lot of health left here, but we do see everyone from Troll and Blizz tapping and coming back in, getting the kill on Leoric. When you're low, you're low. Even if you want to sit on the point, you should probably just back, re-engage, take the fight again. And as a result, it's going to be a 1-for-0 on the re-engage, and Troll and Blizz is going to take control at the point.
I saw the Odin come down, and I actually thought it was the Triglav, and I was like, wow, they captured that point really quick. I didn't even think that they owned it. But nope, just Odin coming down, and that cooldown will whittle away. But we do have the arrow come in, and Dahaka just kind of trying to get out of all the damage, the march, and then obviously that cocoon coming out. But Anubrak goes down in a big mosh as well. Will result in a 2-for-0 right now for Troll and Blizz.
You hate to see that. Dorsch actually got a beautiful cleanse off onto Greymane, and he could have walked out of the mosh, but he just stood there instead because the game is moving so fast. He just could not get out of the mosh in time.
That cleanse
react to the cleanse.
Yeah, the cleanse is going to last, what, 0.5 seconds? Not even? You've got minimal time to make a decision there and step out. But
that's where columns are going to come in. Like, you need to call that you're cleansing, so they start moving, they start clicking. And of course, when you have a cleanse support, you're in a mosh. You just want to click away. You want to be thinking about what you're going to do when the mosh comes out anyway. And
yeah,
that part is a little bit on the player, but it's just the game speed is so oh, beautiful route from the triangle, but no follow-up, unfortunately. Again, it's so hard to call these things. They are going to get top fort off of this protector, though, and they're going to continue to just smash through this wall. They may be able to get a keep here if they get a kill. If they don't get a kill, then this is going to be a full 5v5. And it's going to be very risky to stay here. And I'm curious if they're going to start to back out. Boggs gets left out to dry, dodges the Hanzo arrow with his burrow, and with his essence, he's going to be in very good shape. Adaptation also coming out for him. Did not opt to go for the skill shot-oriented build. They get the kill onto the York. The Entomb getting rid of Genji, but it's not enough to deny. And this is a 5v4. If they get one more kill, they may be able to re-engage. They get the drag as Solid Jake dives in, and he is going to go down in the backline. Guaz getting that last hit on him. Oh, these team fights are intense.
Yeah, and that's the Triglav I was expecting to see. This is the new Triglav, you know, taking that fort and then already pushing down that keep wall. And if they pick up maybe one more hero, now the death timers are extremely short, at least real time short. So pushing into that keep, maybe not the best option. They're gonna soak the mid lane, grab that support camp. This will apply a little bit of extra healing for them during those team fights. Or no, there we go. Sleepy Gary picking it up there. A little bit of maybe a miscommunication. But teams pretty close on EXP. Only a level down here for Nexus Realm Power Heroes. But they'll be making their way. They'll be powering through, getting 16 very, very shortly. And I hope to see another team fight here, as the third point should be coming up anytime now.
Yeah, and of course the support camp. Oh, they may have a fight here. We do get the slide onto Flame G. He does get the jump over, though, Guaz. And the instant interrupt on the Mosh, but doesn't matter. Leoric ends up going down anyway. Cocoon, and we're going to see the chase. Flame G gets picked off. Beautiful hit by Mystic Shroud. That was actually a max range E that he managed to hit with E-build, so he gets the poison there. And that's going to be an E reset, but they don't want to continue to engage. They wait for their minion wave.
Yeah.
And are they going to siege this fort is the question. They decide to back off 17 to 16. It's so interesting to see these 2-level leads, but then teams just run to lanes and get all the soak so quickly. And with teams are together as 5 and doing, oh, we're going to do the camps first, suddenly the experience just evaporates.
Yeah, so, and that's what I imagine to see in this. You know, the EXP kind of just comes to you. If you have a wave clear comp, you can clear it up real fast. And leaving Genji to clear it, he's going to be a little bit late to the team fight, but I'm expecting a big engage here from Anurak. Wow, what an arrow there from Flame G in the back. Bag's taking quite a bit of damage. The shield coming out from Lucio, but down goes Anubarak. The Genji in the backline, I think, trying to dash in there with the blade, but down goes Tychus. And just the follow-up fights are insane here, picking up that Rhaegar and the Greymane, and following up with the 4-for-1 here. Oh my god, Trollin Blizz just taking it home right now in this team fight.
It's worth noting Leoric did not go for the standard talents at 13 and 16, did not go for that Ominous Wraith and the Royal Focus to get that Shrink Ray effect on everyone. He's going for a Drain Hope-centric build. I think they're hoping for the level 20 Wombo here. But I don't think that that's going to be as relevant as they think, because it's very hard to hit a really good, ooh, nice Death March on at the speed of the game.
Mystic Shroud just dashing in there, picking up the other Shimada bro there. Just Hanzo falling almost instantly as the Triglav is now piloting, being piloted by, is that Genji piloting and Dahaka in there? Guaz, 2 of them just kind of, I imagine they get this bottom keep.
Guaz just left the turret behind. Zexerus picked it up. Those turrets actually do a significant amount of damage. If he puts that down for the defense here, it is going to help them significantly. We are going to have Odin popped for the siege. This is, of course, level 20 Odin, so the big red button is in there as well. And if they don't get keep with a 3-level advantage and an Odin and a Triglav protector, like that's just, I can't even imagine what would have to go wrong for that to be the case. They are going to get the kill, almost get the kill, excuse me, on Leoric here. It was extremely close. And huge shield from the Triglav protector. That is going to be the keep going down. And the real question is, we're 3 levels ahead. We've only popped 1 heroic. Everything else is available. Do we just try to end the game?
I think backing out is a little bit safer here. You know, you've got, what, 10 seconds left on the Triglav, 5% health. Backing up, you know, you don't really need to soak EXP now, but who knows? Grab maybe the fort in mid's pretty low. You've got Nexus Realm Power Heroes here on the back leg. They have to defend their building so as to not lose too much more. one team fight. Whether or not it's enough to, you know, make your way in and end the game, who knows? But I expect to see some aggression here, or at least I would like to see some aggression here from Trollin Blizz here.
Yeah, I really think that they should have been bringing the fight to Nexus Realm Power Heroes. They have that 20-tier advantage, and Nexus Realm Power Heroes can just soak. Like, they can get 20 before the next objective, so they're giving Nexus Realm Power Heroes a really good chance to come back in this game. Trollin Blizz, sometimes the conservative route, even though it might seem safer, is actually the most dangerous route because you give the enemy team more opportunities to come back in the game.
Well, here you go. Here's the engage. Ooh. They're opting to play it a little bit safer here. They're just gonna go in, get stunned out by the Nubarak, and then go back in, capture the little fortification camp there, get the turret for the next point, which should be up with what, next minute or two, and yeah.
And it's worth noting on Volskaya that the support camp and the turret camps, oh, that was a big march. ETC actually ends up going down. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, they had a much better opportunity to fight under core than they did here. There's nothing to fight over here, but now they're getting engaged on that pick happens. And they are going to be seeing a nice cleanse. We are going to see Mystic Shroud. Wow, Cocoon's already been used, so that Dragon Blade could get a lot of value, but they actually don't want to go into the fort. They get feel force disengaged. They get the drag onto Leoric, but he gets deleted instantly. And as a result of that fight, 20 is now picked up for Nexus Realm Power Heroes.
Oh my god, what a drag there from Bags, but the Nubarak coming back in with another stun. The engage, there's so many stuns happening. Did he pick up Rewind? I don't know. That's too many stuns within a short amount of time. But,
he has Rewind and Epicenter. So
oh my Jesus.
He got the reset and he has Rewind available. So stuns on stuns on stuns from Zexorus.
All right, so 1 for 1 in that fight. I think losing Leoric and ETC there, and now the objective is back up. Trollin Blizz already on the point. They're going to be looking to cap that as soon as possible. And I imagine if they get this, they're either going to go grab top keep or go straight for core. I'd like to see them, you know, get a pick, go for core, end this game, let it over. It's already been technically 21 minutes.
Technically, I wonder how long it's actually been. I didn't think to look at the clock. I should have looked at the clock.
Probably about 10 minutes.
But this has been an absolutely insane game. And again, clumping in the choke, but a huge arrow comes in to deny. We're gonna see the smosh hit on 2 people. Cocoon comes out for the stop, and we're gonna see a big swing by Leoric. It's actually so much damage. That's a 5-man drain from March, but not enough damage to actually finish off. Leoric is in fact the one that ends up going down. Waz again with the slide in, gets deleted, but his sacrifice was not in vain. That secures 2 additional kills for his team. Genji, Hanzo, meanwhile, on the back line trying to get the finish off on that Tychus, but it's not enough. And they're going to put 1 person in the Trigoloff, 2 people in the Trigoloff, and they're going to march to core after that 5-man wipe.
This has got to be it. You saw Genji just diving in on the back line there. Mystic Shroud showing you why he's playing Genji there. Just wiping out so much damage onto that backline, and then Leoric coming in as well. But that's a 5-for-1 trade. This is most likely GG as this core gets melted here with that 1.5 speed.
And that is a late game Trigoloff Protector. It's a 22 minutes scaling Trigoloff Protector. So much damage with the double pilot in there because the patch increased both its scaling and its damage when you have the 2 people in it at the same time. Just melted the core. They even had catapults. Everything was in their favor at that point. And nicely played by Trollin Blizz.
Yeah, game number 1 for them. Taking it away. Look at the kill difference here. 26 to 9. Lucio, Rosai, not even falling once. Just Mystic and Bags only dying once there. So you can see the kill difference. It's right there in your face. It is, what an insane game. And it looks like we've got 2 other members joining us in here now. Gentlemen.
Ooh. Hey.
Are they here?
Okay. All right, what a game.
Yeah, that was definitely entertaining.
Well, it's entertaining to watch. Was it entertaining to play? Because it looks just more stressful.
No, it was very stressful.
Stressful would be an accurate way to describe that.
So did you guys practice that at all in terms of playing at 1.5 speed?
No.
Really? I'm surprised to see no practice going in, just completely dry there, eh?
Yeah, just going in raw. That's how we do it.
Oh boy.
Do you guys play together like frequently though? Do you practice having comms together? Because it seemed like a lot of cases, like Genji was already casting E as the ETC power slid in. Were you calling the slides like in advance? Were you like, look here, I'm in the slide?
It was actually a lot more hectic than it probably looked on screen. It was just like, I guess as a team, we all kind of knew we wanted to be aggressive because we were just like, one person would step out a little bit too far. And we were like, oh, I'll just try and pounce on them. So
okay, so the plan was just run at them so that we don't have to be reactive. Instead, they have to be reactive.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it.
Intimidation tactics.
I think that's a good plan at that speed. I'm not going to lie, because I don't think being defensive at that speed is very easy. Just reaction speeds don't work out.
Yeah, it was it's very overwhelming when everything's kind of moving that fast, and you just like literally instead of one step, it's like just a half a step out of place, and you're dead. I found that out in the very first team fight where I just like got obliterated when I tried to flank from behind.
Yeah, definitely. That was like I was surprised at how quick the cocoons were coming off cooldown and stuff like that. So, but you know, I had to give Trollin Blizz a charity win because Bags was the only one that didn't talk trash about me. So,
oh,
wow.
My trash talking skills aren't very good.
Unlike me, who's just been talking trash this entire time.
Well, you are the self-proclaimed villain, no?
Yes, I am the I'm not self-proclaimed. I am the villain.
Are you also the underdog, though? Can you be the underdog and the villain?
Yeah, of course.
Okay then.
I mean, I'm right here.
A whole new role.
Okay.
Little bit of a identity crisis from the captain. But that was a very good game. Any shout outs you guys want to give before we move on?
I just want to give a couple shout outs to my teammates. They did a really great job. We haven't practiced at all. We were just kind of winging it for this. So it all worked out, and big shout out to them for rising to the occasion.
Yeah, definitely want to give a shout out to Solid Jake and our other teammate who was just real fun to play with. So that was, obviously a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to our next game, and yeah, we'll hopefully, when we come back as the winners. So
Ooh,
there you go.
That's
the confidence. That's the confidence we're looking for.
All right, gents. Thank you for popping on. Appreciate it.
Thank you
problem.
Thank you for the game. That was very entertaining.
I hope it was.
And I'm glad I didn't have to play in it.
Too hectic for me.
Yeah.
Right.
So we will be moving on to game 2, ladies and gentlemen, with Geeks of Gank versus Trollin Blizz coming back in for game 2. Again, this is a round robin, so every team will play every other team. There are 4 teams.
All right, and before I head off, thank you, Cav, for having me on here. Thanks to the host, Daz, there for sending me an invite and having me on for the cast here. I really enjoyed it. It's something totally new, and the game modes are really exciting. If you guys want to see some more shenanigans like that happening, stick around for the rest of the tournament. But talking about the tournament, we do have giveaways throughout this entire event. So we're going to be doing a Maiev and Xenotech Abathur skin giveaway. And if you guys would type in pound or hashtag AleBeardsBeard, AleBeardsBeard, these skins were provided, I believe, by Blizzard. So thank you so much for them for handing those out so that you guys can enjoy the new hero and the new skin that came out with like one of the most recent patches. The Xenotech Avatar, I ended up getting one of those from a box. Absolutely beautiful. So if you guys want to go type that code into the chat, and we'll be doing a giveaway there. But once again, thank you everybody for having me on, and I guess I'll be cashing out now, I guess.
Thank you so much, Styxa. It was really fun casting with you.
All right, take it easy. Good luck, guys. Bye.